Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. Hope you guys are having a great day. And welcome to a video where I've been meaning to make this for actually quite a while. But you know, I wanted to wait a little bit because I didn't want to rush into it too hard. But now I'm slapping my hand down and I'm making it. This video must be made. I am talking about the BeastMoon hunt. Now the reason why this is a really important video to make and for people to know about is because I feel like they've said this also, but I also feel like BeastMoon is their way of experimenting to make sure that 1v1 ranked is fixed. Now, I'm going to talk about what I think is really good about BeastMoon, what I think is really bad about BeastMoon, how it can be improved. So I think this video, hopefully, if they can take this as feedback on what parts of BeastMoon to implement into PvP, that would be really great, so that, you know, these critiques could go beyond just fixing BeastMoon, but it can go to fixing everything that's wrong with ranked PvP right now. Let's start off with what I actually really like and what I hope that they keep for sure. The one thing that I found when I was experimenting with BeastMoon that's actually the very opposite of frustrating, it's actually something that's really refreshing, is the turn-based system in BeastMoon. It's not like teams switching first and second, it's character by character switching first and second. If you're the first in the battle arena, that means you have more priority over the person who is second in the battle arena on the other team, no matter what. Basically, the first person on each team goes, and the second people on each team goes, and the order in which those go changes every round. And I think that's really great that BeastMoon did that. Not only is it a complete fix to a first place advantage in 1v1, it could actually revive 2v2, 3v3, 4v4. It would do something really great, because a real big problem in those game modes right now, that's why you really don't see ranked 3v3s and 4v4s anymore, is because the problem is because there's so many turns that you can do when all 4 people on a team go before all 4 people on another team. Because of how much freedom that gives you, we have so many tools to basically just one-shot a team. What's stopping a group of 4 Storm Wizards to literally just triple blade whatever Storm Wizard gets a Shadow Pip early on, and then just win just off of the fact that they're going first, right? I mean, that's the truth. You can actually win very easily because of how Shadow spells work. Obviously, I kind of touched on this, but 1v1 would be fixed completely if you could basically just switch every turn to who goes first. That way you'd spend 1 round reacting and trying to predict your opponent's moves. You'd spend 1 round basically being in control. I have one small issue with that though, and that is something that we will get into. I think there are some strategies where you can really abuse that. Like people who Guardian spam, for example, you could really abuse the fact that now, instead of going second every round sometimes, you basically always go first half the time. I feel like there are some strategies that could exploit the hell out of a turn-based thing in 1v1, and I really think that should be looked into before implementing this change, because otherwise there's going to be a huge revival of strategies that really shouldn't be in the game to begin with. Though the turn-based, you know, like quality of BeastMoon hunt is a really great thing that they really do need to put into regular PvP as soon as possible. I think one major issue with that is that there are some tanking strategies that would flourish with that. And before you even put, you know, something where the first place switches, you have to understand that there's some strategies that are extremely overpowered when you're first. Even more than the generic Shrike into Shadow Hit, into, you know, whatnot. That's broken as it is, but there are certain ways to basically cheese the game. And if there are scenarios where basically people can always have a first place turn every other turn, then there are strategies that will be unbeatable. Guardian Spirit 100% has to be nerfed if they install a system in PvP where basically one person goes first and then the other person goes first, especially in 1v1. Let's say you're a Guardian Spirit spammer and your only real strategy, and let's just be honest, is what most people do, is that you're gonna basically stall out the match and pack 20 reshuffles and basically make sure that you keep on shielding, you have a lot of resist, you basically are untouchable. You put on a Guardian Spirit against your opponent and you shield a lot. Now, let's say that you alternate going first and second over and over again. Already, the person who you're going against is gonna have a tough time breaking all the shields and hitting you. Now, hypothetically, if you just pack only shields and you go first, no one, even with the Shrike up, is gonna hit you, right? If anything, they're gonna do an overtime on you and then have an open shot when they're first. Now, the problem is, if you have Guardian Spirit up with an insane amount of heal boost, like a lot of people have been doing as a stalling strategy recently, even if you die on a round that you're second, you are going to come back on a round that you're first. And generally, what people will do then is immediately heal, immediately shield the next turn, and now you're ready to either Guardian again, you're ready to Satyr until you're max, and even a Shrike won't be able to counter that. What I'm trying to say is, there are some people who only use Guardian as a stalling strategy right now, and the only hope of anybody beating them is when they go first. And the only way they can beat them when they go first is either through shriking, it's either through putting up a 4-pit bubble, whatever. All these things rely on going first for several turns. From my point of view, I only really see two major solutions to this. One, either alternate the turns every like 3 or 4 turns instead of every other turn, so that you actually have an actual window of opportunity to kill someone using Guardian Spirit and also come through with a follow-up attack before they can just spam heals again. Or, and I think this is a much better solution, nerf Guardian Spirit. Either limit its uses, make it so you cannot crit it, or make it so that your heal boost does not apply to the percentage. These are 3 very viable things that you need to do if you want to make it so that people can't just stall in a situation where they're allowed to go first half the time. I really hope that some person at King's Isle is watching this, because I can guarantee to you the solution to the whole first place advantage thing at the moment isn't just to blindly make it so one person goes first and the other person goes first and one person goes first. If you do that, there will be stalling strategies that are literally unbeatable. And I'm not just talking about regular Guardian Spirit stalling strategies. There are people who can just set abnormally hard and then they can win just because of the rounds that they go first, where the only chance you would have had of beating them is if they went second. I also suggest similarly capping resist at a decent point, like, you know, even like 75 or 80%. Something like that would make it so that you still have a shot, because a lot of people can go into the hundreds of resist. That's how a lot of people play. I think if you want something that's healthy for PvP in general, I don't think a resist cap is really that bad of an idea, because at the end of the day, your goal in a PvP match shouldn't just be to outlast your opponent. That's only one part of it. It should also be to defeat them. I think if you want BeastMoon as a whole to be something that the community can benefit more from, there's a lot of things you gotta change in it. One, you should be able to queue up with friends. I'm sorry, but I don't like queuing up with strangers, especially when it's extremely easy just to log out, and it's extremely easy just to get a crew that doesn't know what they're doing. Also, the way ranking works in BeastMoon is that it's random. You can go against someone whose tier is above you, who has spells that can literally one-shot you, and yet you don't have the same tools to fight them. So if you're going to do a ranking system, even regardless of friends, you shouldn't be able to rank with people that are tiers above everybody else, because they will simply carry you. It's almost like boosting if you really think about it. It's almost like going into 2v2 as level 10 with a level 100 and getting 2 level 50s and saying that the level 10 did anything to deserve the rank that they would get. I think that's a really big problem. What that brings me to is the fact that if that's a real problem that they're going to address, they should 100% go into addressing how matchmaking works in ranked 1v1 as well. There should be no scenario where someone without shadow magic goes with people with shadow magic. The problem is, right now in BeastMoon, is that people tiers up higher literally get better spells that are able to one-shot everybody. And the way BeastMoon works, you don't have resist, you don't have any stats, you just have health. So if you get super OP spells because you're tiered up, you can literally just one-shot people, and that's ridiculous. But the problem is, there's a scenario like that in PvP right now. If you're really gonna look at BeastMoon experimentally and see how that can help make ranked 1v1 better, you gotta notice how having an extra tier above people is a huge advantage. You shouldn't be able to match up with these people, and in the same way, you should not be able to match up with people with shadow magic when you don't have shadow magic. If BeastMoon is to inform you on how to fix ranked PvP, you gotta know that tiers matter just like shadow pips matter. That's a really big thing. And finally, one thing that I really hope that they don't use BeastMoon for in terms of making ranked 1v1 better or more balanced is removing the amount of control that you have in deck building. The reason I don't like BeastMoon right now, and that just might be a personal thing, is because unfortunately all your cards are randomly shuffled in. There's no strategy. You literally have RNG. It's not even like where you can put more of one card than another to increase the odds of getting that card more, right? That's what people do when they build their decks. You can't do that in BeastMoon, and because of that, there's extreme RNG. I hope that if they use BeastMoon as a way to fix ranked 1v1, whatever they do, they don't get in the way of being able to build your own deck. That should never, ever be a thing. The one thing that I really get frustrated about in BeastMoon is that it is extremely random what cards you get. And you could literally have all these OP spells and they could be shuffled into the back of your deck and you're not able to win anymore. You gotta keep the freedom of deck building and stat setting to your wizard. If anything, you should nerf spells that are too OP and you should nerf stats that are too OP. That's where you should go in that direction. As a final note, there's been a lot of, reports that if you go AFK in BeastMoon, that you actually get banned. You can get suspended at least. And there's proof of this on Twitter. And you know what? If you think of suspending people for going AFK, if you think that's like unsportsmanlike and, they deserve the suspension, whatever, fine. I guess technically if you're on a team and you go AFK, that is worthy of suspension. But why not use that logic for people who use stalling strategies in 1v1? That's my issue. They have created a situation in BeastMoon where if you go AFK, that's automatically a suspension if you're reported for it. And yet, you literally can't even get banned in 1v1 if you just full out go immune or Jade and you don't have any intention of beating your opponent. That should be completely not allowed. I'm sorry, but if you make a deck specifically with the intention of wasting time, I don't care if that sounds like me, harping on a strategy. It's not a legit strategy. It just isn't. Someone with 90 resist who just heals over and over again, or someone with even a bunch of crit that just keeps crit guardian spiriting over and over again, that's a stalling strategy. I can tell you, it's a lot more frustrating to go against someone who literally just stalls the whole time in a 1v1 than it is to get someone who's AFK in BeastMoon. If you're going to enforce a rule, be consistent with it, and that is my final big thing that I have to say about how BeastMoon and ranked PvP. If you're going to connect those two, that's an important connection that you should make. As always, y'all, this is more of, like a discussion video. There's a lot of words here, lots of paragraphs of words and speech and whatnot. But this is my honest opinion. BeastMoon is the key to fixing PvP, but it is how you look at BeastMoon to fix it. I really think this is an important time. I know they're going to reset the ages when they actually do fix PvP with the BeastMoon feedback. This is my feedback, and I hope the community can give their feedback in the comment section as well. Let me know what you think of this video by giving me a comment, giving your feedback about your experience at BeastMoon and Ranked, and how you think, those two tie together and how they can use feedback in BeastMoon to fix PvP. I would love to hear all of your opinions. As always, y'all, drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a sub if you're new, and if somebody has not told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong. There's tons of links in the description, including my Twitch, my Twitter, my Discord, and my Instagram, and stay awesome, brother. And yeah.